Good day, everybody. Matthew from Captive Audience Comics here with another CGC unboxing. We just got our box of magazines back from CGC. Now, as many of you know, magazines can take quite a bit longer for processing. I don't know if it's about the grading time, because it shouldn't take any longer to grade a magazine. I know they were having issues with encapsulation supplies, acrylic cases for the increased sizes, but we got a nice big box back from CGC. So let's take a look and see what slabs are like. Make sure they are in good shape. Now, in the past, even when CGC was having problems with their cases and cracking and encapsulation and curves and everything, we really didn't see that problem on the magazine side. So we're not anticipating any issues. Any issues here, but we will see how it goes. Now, interesting thing here, it looks like what they have for the magazines is an extra wide, flatter peel top here. You can see with an individual sleeve, or it could be because maybe we had no, it's one order. Okay, well, that's kind of cool. I haven't seen those bubbles anymore. But we have this very nice Marvel. This is the Marvel Comics from their magazine group size. Savage Sword of Conan, number 75 in a 9.8. So that is obviously a very nice book to get back. Customer will be very happy with that. And again, yeah, there's no banana-ing of the slab. And the case looks good, as to be expected under new their new shipping process. So let's see here. So next we have another, oh no, there's two slabs in this one. Interesting. I feel like it's the same size package, but with two magazines in it, which is a little tight, but see how it goes. So we have Punisher magazine number 1 in a 9.6. So again, that's nice. That is looks like that's accurately, well, it might be a little soft graded. Probably had this at a 9.4. There is a color breaking spine tick on it. But it's possible in the magazines they allow for a little more than that because of the size of the book. So, and I think all of the magazines, or almost all of these magazines, are from the same client. So they'll be happy. Savage Sword of Conan number 5 in an 8. And this one does have some tanning around the back. It has a little bit of wear along the spine, so that looks, oh, and there's even some color breaks down across this corner and creases, so that's a good grade for that book. Now, it looks like the packing material for the rest of them is different, so not sure why. We're getting a hodgepodge of packing, but as long as the books are safe. So this is your traditional clamshell where the top slides off. All right, let's take a look here. So, Savage Tales Annual number 1 from 1975 in a 9.4. That's a great looking book. Again, it's got some wear on the spine, a couple little minor color breaks on the spine, so that is a good grade for that. Gotta make sure all the books get back in their bags. So next, Marvel's Super Special number 19. This is the For Your Eyes Only comic book adaptation for James Bond. with the classic photo on the back with Roger Moore in a 9.6. We were kind of, I think this one, I think we had it at a 9.6, and we were hoping maybe we get a 9.8 on it. But there is some cover wear on the back in the black on the spine. So I'm not surprised that it's a 9.6, but that's good, I think. And again, all of these cases, I'm not seeing any signs of any damage in the cases or anything like that. Raphael, number 1, this is the Mirage Studios miniseries in a 7.5. I think this one we had, maybe we had this at an 8, but now that I look at it, I mean, a 7.5 is probably a gracious grade. It actually looks a little closer to a 7. You're going to see there's multiple color breaks all the way across here, and on the back there is a color breaking crease across the corner there. It looks like it was a little mishandled, but by CGC, but with those particular, and there's some color rub as well, so that is probably a legitimate grade. Maybe even probably should have been a 7, but that's okay. We get a little half grade bump there. Now a couple of these both, yeah. So here we are, National Lampoon number 40. This was actually a very popular series at the time. These are really big books. Okay, in 8.5. Really kind of cool covers. They had some really edgy stuff. Again, color breaks along the spine, wear on the back, wear on the corners. So that's a legitimate grade. I'll have to check my notes. I think that we're looking pretty good. Yeah, I think this one we had at a 9, and we got an 8.5. But this one we had at a 9.4, and we got a 9.6 on the 2 National Lampoon. So we got one up, one down to National Lampoon, 9.6. Very cool cover. It's a almost all white cover. It has a little bit of staining on it and some corner wear, so that's nice. Not safe for work cover. eBay probably wouldn't let you sell that in their comic category. All right, and then we have one other package of books in here. Let's take a look at these ones. There we go. Let's see here. So Beckett's Basketball Monthly in a 9.2. Obviously, this is Michael Johnson with, I'm not sure which, it was 1991. Now, let me see here. Basketball Monthly, we had this at Beckett Basketball Monthly. We had this at a 9.4, so we got a 9.2. So, you know, one grade under. It does look very good for a 9.2. There is a vertical production line on the book in the gloss, which, you know, frankly, I shouldn't affect the grade. But there's a little bit of wear on the spine. I guess they graded that a little bit harder than we did, but we're within one grade. So I always say that if you're within one grade of your estimate, then you're doing pretty good. It could be up, could be down. Next. So one of my favorite books, Foom 17 in a 9.2. This obviously is the Stan Lee character collage cover. I think this book got higher graded than we expected. Yeah, we had quite a bit higher. we had this book at an 8, and we got a 9.2. So that's good. There are several color breaking spine bends that we thought were long enough to be considered creases and not spine ticks, but they obviously in the magazine have decided that that they were just color breaking spine ticks and not creases, which is great for the customer because I'd say always a popular book. Then we have, for our horror fans, World of Fandom #1 in a 9.8. This is the Freddy Krueger cover. Now this book, I believe, is an all newsprint cover. I'm pretty sure. So if you've never worked on an all newsprint cover, you have to be very careful because there's no gloss, there's no protection for the inks or the paper at all. So you have to be really careful when you're doing any kind of cleaning on here, because if you look at this book funny, you're gonna rub off ink. So that's great. World of Fandom. Yeah, we had that at a 9.4. We got a 9.8. So that is great. And I think it's the last magazine for this particular customer. This is the Batman the Damned, but this is not just your regular Batman the Damned. This is the uncorrected proof advanced reader's copy. Now, I at a 9.0. I have no idea how many of these were published. The numbers are very, very low on the census. I'm not even sure how you get one of these, but my customer did. Now, we had that book at, actually, for whatever reason, we had this book at an 8 and we got a 9. So there must have been a flaw maybe on like an inside cover or something like that. I'm not sure, but good news for the customer, and it looks great. Like, I mean, it looks better than a 9, but we did have it at a lower grade, so there's something on there that must be really hard to see in this lab. And then the last magazine here, which is for a different client, is just a copy of TMNT, The Last Ronin, #1 in a 9.8. There are quite a few 9.8s of this book because it's an oversized square-bound cardstock cover. So at least if it was protected during shipping, high chances of high grades. I believe there are many 9.9s and even a few 10s on this book. But very nice cover. A series that really brought Turtles sort of back into the modern stream. So anyways, that is it for the magazines for this run. We'll be reaching out to you if books are in here, and if you see this video first. And I hope everyone has a great day, and we'll be back with you with another video around CBCS shortly. We finally got back a book that's been with them for like 6 months, and we're going to do a, who could have thought CBCS could have screwed up this bad kind of post, because they really did the pooch on this one, and then tried to blame everybody except themselves, and eventually had to admit some stuff because I keep meticulous written records of everything. But we'll get to that in our next one. Have a great day. Ciao.